Listen to me. You didn't come this far just to stop now. You didn't sacrifice sleep. You didn't push through pain. You didn't crawl through those dark nights just to quit when the light is finally showing. You got this far. So why would you stop when you're so close? See, some of y'all think the hard part was getting started. No, the hard part is not quitting when it hurts, when it's lonely, when nobody claps for you, when the dream feels distant. That's when your faith gets tested. But let me tell you something. You've already proven you can survive the storm. You've already walked through fire. You've already faced rejection, doubt, and pain, and you're still here. So don't you dare stop now. You've got to dig deeper. You've got to remind yourself why you started in the first place. You've got to remember those nights you said, I'm going to make it no matter what. You've got to keep that same energy, that same hunger, because the finish line is closer than you think. You might be tired. You might feel like it's not working, but every step forward is progress. Every struggle is shaping your strength. Every tear is watering your future success. You didn't get this far by accident. You got here because you refused to quit. And that same mindset, that same fire will take you all the way. So I need you to look at yourself right now and say, I'm built for this. I've come too far to turn back now. I will not quit. You might bend, but you will not break. You might fall, but you will not stay down. You might cry, but you will rise stronger. This is your time. This is your season. You've got this far. Now it's time to finish what you started, because hear me, winners don't quit. They adapt, they grow, they rise again. So when life whispers you can't make it, you look back at everything you've already overcome and say, watch me. You got this far. Don't quit. Now you've got to remember your why. Listen to me carefully. The moment you forget your why, you lose your direction. Your why is the anchor that keeps you steady when life tries to pull you under. Your why is that deep, burning reason behind every sacrifice, every late night, every early morning. When everything else fades, your why is what keeps you alive inside. You can't just do this because it looks good on paper or because somebody told you it's a good idea. You've got to do it because something inside of you won't rest until it's done. I remember sleeping in abandoned buildings. I remember eating out of trash cans. I remember waking up every morning not knowing what the next day would hold, but I had a why. My why was that I refused to die in the same situation I was born into. My why was that I wanted to prove to myself and to every kid out there who felt like they were nothing that you can rise up. You can change your story. You can become something extraordinary, even if you come from nothing. That's my why. And when life hit me, when I felt like giving up, that why, that vision, it pulled me back up every single time. So I need you to understand something. When you wake up in the morning and you feel tired, when your body says, I can't, when your mind says it's too hard, you've got to remind yourself of that why. You've got to speak it out loud, because your why has power. Your why has energy. Your why can breathe life into you when everything else tries to drain it out. You see, people quit not because they don't have talent. People quit not because they don't have opportunity. People quit because they lose sight of why they started. They forget what they're fighting for. They forget the dream they had when nobody believed in them. They forget the promises they made to themselves when they were broke, when they were desperate, when they were hungry. Don't you forget that. Don't you ever let that fire die, because your why is your weapon. It's the thing that will separate you from the rest. Everybody can start, but not everybody can finish. Everybody can talk about dreams, but not everybody can fight for them when it gets ugly. The people who make it, they don't have better circumstances. They just have a stronger why. Their why makes them unstoppable. Their why gives them tunnel vision. Their why says, I don't care how long it takes. I'm not leaving until I win. When you know your why, you don't need motivation. You become motivation. You don't need someone to push you, because your purpose becomes your fuel. That's why people can't understand your grind. That's why they say, why don't you chill? That's why they say you're doing too much, because they can't see your why. They didn't feel what you felt. They didn't cry those tears. They didn't experience that pain that made you promise yourself you would never go back. They weren't there when you said, I'm changing my life. You got to keep that same energy. You got to wake up every morning and remind yourself, this is why I'm doing it, for your family, for your legacy, for that little version of you who never gave up, for every person who said you couldn't, for every person counting on you, for every dream that still burns in your heart. That's your why. And hear me, when the pressure builds, that's not the time to fold. That's the time to return to your why. When your body's tired, your spirit has to take over. When your mind says no, your heart has to say yes. When everything feels heavy, that's when you whisper to yourself, this is why I started. You don't get this far just to let go of what you've worked for. You don't fight this hard to stop when victory is within reach. Some of you right now are on the edge of something great. You've been fighting, grinding, pushing, and you're wondering why it's taking so long. But let me tell you, the delay is not denial. The struggle doesn't mean failure. It means you're being prepared. It means your why is being tested. It means life is asking you, do you really want it? Because if your why is strong enough, you'll keep moving even when you can't see the finish line. That's why I tell people, don't do it for fame. Don't do it for money. Don't do it for likes. Because when that applause fades, you'll have nothing left to stand on. But when you do it for purpose, when you do it because your soul is on fire, that kind of motivation doesn't fade. That kind of motivation doesn't die when life gets hard. That kind of motivation keeps you up when the world sleeps. And you've got to protect that why. You've got to guard it with everything you have. Don't let small-minded people talk you out of your dream. Don't let temporary feelings make permanent decisions. Don't let fear drown out your purpose, because hear me, fear will come. Doubt will whisper. Pain will test you. But if your why is bigger than your excuses, you'll keep going. Every legend, every success story, every world changer you've ever admired, they had a why. Steve Jobs had a why. Kobe Bryant had a why. Nelson Mandela had a why. Martin Luther King Jr. had a why. They didn't quit when things got hard because their purpose was bigger than their pain. You've got to find that level inside you. You've got to get to the point where you say, I'd rather die trying than live quitting. I'm talking to that person who's on the edge right now. You feel like you've done everything you can. You've cried, you've sacrificed, and you're tired. But listen, the reason you feel that way is because you're almost there. You're in the zone where people either quit or break through. This is the testing ground. This is where your why is, either proven or forgotten. So you've got to make a decision. Are you going to let the pain define you or drive you? Are you going to let this moment break you or build you? You've got to speak to yourself right now. You've got to say, I've come too far to stop now. You've got to remind yourself, I started this for a reason, and I'm not quitting until it's done. You got to look at your reflection and say, I may be tired, but I'm not done. I may be bleeding, but I'm still fighting. I may be scared, but I'm still moving. Because that's what warriors do. They keep going. They remember their why when everything else fails. When you remember your why, you start seeing obstacles differently. They stop being reasons to quit and start being opportunities to prove how bad you want it. You start to realize the pressure is not punishment, it's preparation. The pain is not the end, it's part of the process. Every closed door, every setback, every failure is shaping you into the person who can handle what's coming next. And let me be real with you. Success isn't about talent. It's not about who's the smartest or who has the most resources. It's about who can remember their why when life gets hard. It's about who can stay locked in when distractions come. It's about who can stay faithful when results don't show. That's what separates winners from quitters. So when you wake up tomorrow, I want you to write your why down. Put it where you can see it every day. Make it the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you see at night, because that's what's going to push you when the motivation runs out. That's what's going to carry you when your body wants to quit. And I don't care what it looks like right now. You're not done. You've got more in you. You've got greatness inside of you, but that greatness won't come out until your why becomes non-negotiable, until your why becomes something you live for, until your why becomes something you would fight for even if nobody's watching. Because hear me, you've already proven you can survive. Now it's time to prove you can thrive. You've got to stop doubting and start believing. You've got to stop complaining and start moving. You've got to stop wishing and start working, because you've got a purpose that's bigger than your pain. You've got a reason that's bigger than your excuses. And when that alarm clock goes off, I want you to wake up like your life depends on it, because it does. You don't get this time back. You don't get this moment again. So make it count. Every rep, every breath, every step, make it count. Because one day you're going to look back and realize all those little moments, all those hard nights, all those times you wanted to quit. They were the steps that got you to your dream. So whatever you do, don't lose your why. Don't lose your fire. Don't lose your fight. You came too far. You've endured too much. You've sacrificed too deeply to give up now. The world needs your purpose. The world needs your gift. The world needs what only you can give. So get up. Lock in. Remember your why and finish strong. You have to understand something deep down in your soul. Pain is temporary. I know it doesn't feel like it when you're going through it. I know when you're in the middle of the storm, it feels like it's going to last forever. Like every step hurts, like you can't breathe without feeling the weight of it pressing on your chest. But I'm telling you from experience, it doesn't last. Pain fades, scars heal, the fire cools down. But what doesn't fade is what that pain produces inside you. The strength, the discipline, the resilience, the hunger, that's permanent. That's what makes you who you are. See, everybody wants success until it hurts. Everybody wants the dream until the price shows up. And that's when people quit. That's when they fold, but not you. You've got to make a decision right now that pain will not have the final say. You've got to tell yourself, this hurts, but it's not forever. You've got to whisper to your soul, this is not where my story ends. The reason most people never reach greatness is because they see pain as the end instead of the beginning. But champions, winners, they understand that pain is part of the process. Pain is the proof that you're growing. Pain is the signal that you're breaking through a limit. I remember times when I was broken, homeless, no food, no direction, and the pain was suffocating. I wanted to give up so many times, but that pain became my teacher. It taught me what comfort never could. It taught me to fight, to grind, to appreciate the little things. And every time I got hit, I realized something. It wasn't the pain that was destroying me. It was my fear of it. Once I accepted the pain, once I decided I would walk through it instead of running from it, that's when my life started to change. Because listen, pain only has power when you avoid it. When you face it head on, it loses its control. Every rep in the gym burns. Every late night studying hurts. Every rejection stings. Every loss feels like it's tearing you apart. But every single one of those moments is building something inside you. Every single tear, every drop of sweat, every ache is creating a version of you that can't be broken. You think pain is the enemy, but it's not. Pain is the sculptor. Pain is shaping you into something greater. Pain is the price of admission for success. You have to rewire how you think about it. Don't see pain as punishment. See it as preparation. The universe isn't trying to destroy you. It's trying to build you. It's not trying to take you out. It's trying to toughen you up. It's not testing you to break you. It's testing you to reveal who you really are. Because when everything's easy, anybody can show up. But when it hurts, when you've got every reason to quit and you still show up, that's when greatness is born. That's when you find out what you're made of. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. You can cry now and grow, or you can quit now and cry forever. That's the truth. People quit because they want the results without the struggle. They want the reward without the risk. But hear me, there's no harvest without planting, no victory without sacrifice. You want to shine like a diamond? You have to be cut like one. And cutting hurts, grinding hurts, pressure hurts. But when it's done, what comes out is unbreakable. When you feel like it's too much, I want you to think about the people counting on you. I want you to think about the version of you who dreamed about being here. I want you to think about the fact that every second you endure the pain, you're 1 second closer to breakthrough. It might not happen today. It might not happen this week, but it's coming. You can't stop the process halfway. The butterfly doesn't come out of the cocoon without struggle. The gold doesn't come pure without fire. The athlete doesn't get strong without pain. So stop running from it. Stop wishing it away. Go through it. And let me tell you something powerful. The pain you're in today is preparing you for the blessings you prayed for yesterday. You asked for success and life gave you pain to build the strength to handle it. You asked for growth and life gave you challenges to develop it. You asked for greatness and life gave you obstacles to prove it. Don't reject what you asked for because it came in a form you didn't expect. That's how God works. That's how growth happens. You've got to start seeing pain as a friend, not an enemy, because the same pain that's breaking you now will one day be the a story that inspires someone else. The same pain that's testing you will become the testimony that lifts someone out of their darkness. You're not just going through pain for you. You're going through it for everyone who's watching, everyone who needs proof that it's possible. You're being built for impact. That's why it hurts so much. Sometimes it's not about the pain ending. It's about you outlasting it. You've got to decide, I'm going to stand here until the storm passes. You've got to be willing to hurt for a season so you can live free for a lifetime. Pain will visit you, but it doesn't have to move in. You can't control when it comes, but you can control how you respond. You can let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can let it stop you, or you can let it sharpen you. When you see a runner at mile 20 of a marathon, that's when they hit the wall. Their body says no, their legs say stop, but their mind says go. They don't stop because they know the pain will pass, but the pride of finishing lasts forever. You've got to develop that mindset. You've got to push past the wall. You've got to remind yourself that you didn't come this far just to stop because it hurts. You came this far to conquer what hurts. Listen, the people who make it aren't the ones who avoid pain. They're the ones who master it. They learn how to use it as fuel. Every time it hurts, they say, good, this means I'm growing. Every time they fall, they say, good, this means I'm learning. Every time they struggle, they say, good, this means I'm getting stronger. You've got to flip the script. You've got to make pain work for you instead of against you. And I promise you, one day you're going to look back and thank the pain. You're going to thank the people who doubted you. You're going to thank the nights you couldn't sleep. You're going to thank the days you felt alone, because those moments were molding you into the person you were meant to become. Those moments were refining you for your destiny. You can't skip the suffering and expect to stay strong. You can't dodge the fire and still shine like gold. You might be crying right now, but keep moving. You might be exhausted, but keep going. You might be scared, but take the next step anyway. Every time you choose to keep going through pain, you're telling life, you can't break me. You're proving that your spirit is stronger than your struggle. And when you come out the other side, nothing will ever have the same power over you again. There's beauty in pain if you look close enough. It strips away your ego. It exposes your weaknesses. It reveals your truth. It forces you to depend on something deeper than comfort. It makes you depend on purpose. It reminds you that you're human, but it also reminds you that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. You won't find your limits in comfort. You'll find them in pain. And once you know how far you can go, you'll never settle again. So don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to handle a hard one. Don't pray for fewer problems. Pray for more power. Don't pray for no pain. Pray for endurance, because pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. You quit once, it becomes a habit. You push once, it becomes a lifestyle. And every time you push through pain, you train your mind to see possibility instead of problems. I'm telling you, the pain is going to fade. The soreness will go away. The heartbreak will heal. The losses will turn into lessons. The darkness will turn into light. But the person you become, the warrior, the leader, the overcomer, that's forever. That's the real reward. Pain is just the price of transformation. You pay it once and you carry the reward for life. So when you feel that burn, don't run. Lean into it, breathe through it, embrace it, because it's not here to destroy you. It's here to develop you. You've survived everything that was meant to break you. This pain you're feeling right now is proof that you're still alive, that you're still fighting, that you're still in the game. You've already beaten worse. You've already outlasted storms before, and you'll do it again. One day someone's going to look at your story and say, if they made it, I can too. That's what pain does. It connects us. It reminds us that we're human, that we're fighters, that we can rise again. So don't hide from it. Don't be ashamed of it. Let it refine you. Let it redefine you. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. And when you come out, you won't just survive. You'll thrive. You're closer than you think. I know you might not feel it right now. You might be staring at the wall, wondering why things haven't worked out, why it still feels like you're miles away from the life you've been fighting for. You might be tired of praying, tired of grinding, tired of believing when nothing seems to change. But I'm here to tell you, the breakthrough you've been waiting for is closer than you think. That dream that feels distant, that door that looks locked, that opportunity you've been chasing, it's right around the corner. The problem is most people quit in the hallway. Most people give up right before the door opens. They can't see how close they are, so they stop digging when they're inches from gold. Life has a way of testing you the hardest when you're closest to the prize. It's like the universe saying, let's see if you really want this. That's why it hurts so much near the end. That's why it feels heavier now than ever before, because you're right there. You're standing on the edge of your breakthrough, but the edge always feels the steepest. You think you've got miles to go, but in reality, you're one decision away. One more day of faith, one more act of discipline, one more moment of courage. That's all that stands between you and everything you've been praying for. Listen to me. Success doesn't announce itself. It doesn't knock on your door and tell you it's coming. It just shows up one day, quietly, like the sunrise after the longest night. You don't see it coming. You feel it arriving. And all the times you thought nothing was happening, all the times you thought you were stuck, those were the moments the foundation was being laid. You've been growing in silence. You've been learning in struggle. You've been maturing in waiting. Don't mistake stillness for stagnation. Don't confuse patience with punishment. Sometimes you're not waiting on the blessing. The blessing is waiting on you to become ready. Every champion, every success story, every person who's ever made it, they'll all tell you the same thing. The moment they wanted to quit the most was the moment right before things changed, because the pressure peaks before the promise. The weight gets heavy right before the release. Life wants to see if you can handle what's coming. And if you quit now, you'll never know how close you were. You're planting seeds right now. And the problem with seeds is they don't grow overnight. You water them, you nurture them, and for weeks, maybe months, you see nothing. You start to think maybe it's not working. What you can't see is that beneath the surface, roots are forming. The seed is building a foundation. Because if the roots aren't deep enough, the tree won't survive the storm. That's what your waiting season is. It's root season. You're being strengthened underground so that when your time comes, nothing can uproot you. You've got to stop judging your progress by what you see. The process is invisible long before it becomes visible. The grind always looks like failure before it turns into success. Every hour you're working, every tear you're shedding, every sacrifice you're making, it's adding up. It's compounding. You might not see the results today, but the moment will come when everything aligns, when all your work pays off, and you'll realize it was all worth it. Sometimes it's not that life is saying no, it's saying not yet. And those two things feel the same in the moment. But not yet means it's coming. Not yet means you're almost there. Not yet means the universe is still aligning things in your favor. You've got to trust the timing even when it doesn't make sense. You've got to keep moving even when it feels like you're walking in circles. Because you might be on your 99th step. And if you quit now, you'll never know what would have happened on step 100. Think about how many people quit one day too early. They walked away right before their miracle showed up. They stopped digging one swing before striking gold. They stopped believing right before the light broke through. Don't be one of those people. You've already come too far to stop here. You've already endured too much to turn back now. You've cried too many tears, fought too many battles, survived too many storms. You didn't come this far just to quit when you're this close. You've got to believe in yourself even when results don't show. You've got to keep your faith when nothing seems to be moving. Because the darkest hour of the night is always right before the dawn. That's not just poetry, that's truth. When everything feels like it's falling apart, it's often falling into place. You can't see the whole picture while you're in the middle of it. But one day you'll look back and realize every delay, every detour, every heartbreak, it was all leading you here. Your breakthrough might not come the way you expected. It might not look like what you planned, but that doesn't mean it's not coming. Sometimes God doesn't change your situation. He changes you in the situation. Sometimes the blessing is not the thing you get. It's the person you become. So if you're still in the fight, it means the story's not over. It means there's still something growing inside you that the world hasn't seen yet. You're closer than you think. That goal you've been chasing, it's not as far as it feels. That dream you've been building, it's not as distant as it seems. You just can't stop. You can't slow down now. You can't let the tiredness make the decision. You've got to push like you're one move away, because you might be. One meeting, one connection, one idea, one moment of courage. That's all it takes to change everything. When I was grinding to become a speaker, there were years nobody called me. I was talking to empty rooms. I was recording videos nobody watched. I was working jobs that didn't pay enough to cover rent. But I kept going because I believed that every no was leading to the right yes. I believed that if I stayed consistent, one day everything would click. And that's exactly what happened. One phone call changed everything. One opportunity opened every door. But if I had quit a month earlier, I would have missed it. That's what I need you to understand. Consistency is what keeps you in position for the miracle. You don't have to know when it's coming. You just have to make sure you're ready when it does. That means showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. That means staying disciplined when no one's watching. That means believing even when there's no visible reason to. Because winners aren't the ones who have it easy. They're the ones who keep moving forward when everyone else stops. You might think you failed because it's taking longer than you expected, but you haven't failed. You're still in progress. You're still in the making. You're still being molded. Every delay is developing something inside of you. You're learning patience. You're learning resilience. You're learning humility. You're learning how to fight for something that matters. That's not failure. That's growth. And I know it's hard to keep believing when nothing around you looks like success, but you can't let what you see make you forget what you know. You know you've got a purpose. You know you've got potential. You know you've come too far to stop now. You've got to hold that truth tighter than the pain, because faith isn't about seeing the whole staircase. It's about taking the next step, trusting that it leads somewhere. So take that next step, even if it's small, even if it's slow, even if it's painful. Just keep moving. You're closer than you think. You might be in the 9th round, exhausted, bleeding, but you got one more punch left, and that punch could change the fight. Don't tap out before your victory round. Don't let fatigue rob you of your future. You've already fought too long to surrender now. There's a version of you waiting on the other side of this struggle, a stronger, wiser, more powerful version. And the only way to meet them is to keep going. Every step you take is bringing you closer to that person. Every obstacle you overcome is unlocking more of your potential. Every challenge you face is sharpening your spirit. The journey is shaping you in ways you don't even realize yet. When you finally reach that moment, and you will, you're going to look back and realize why it had to take this long. You'll see how every delay was protection, how every rejection was redirection, how every challenge was preparation. You'll see how close you were the entire time. And you'll thank yourself for not giving up when it felt pointless, because you'll realize the finish line wasn't far. It was right around the corner the whole time. So don't stop now. Don't let exhaustion talk you out of your destiny. Don't let fear whisper lies into your purpose. Keep pressing forward. Keep fighting. Keep believing, because your time is coming. You're closer than you think. The dream is real. The promise is alive. And if you just take one more step, one more breath, one more shot, you're going to see everything you've worked for finally unfold. Listen to me. Every single step you take matters. Don't you dare downplay your progress because it doesn't look like somebody else's highlight reel. Every inch you move forward, every breath you take in the direction of your dream counts. I know sometimes you look at your life and say, man, I should be further by now. But I need you to stop right there and remind yourself that you're not where you used to be. You've already come a long way. You've already overcome things that once looked impossible. Every small win, every act of persistence, every time you chose discipline over comfort, it all adds up. Progress doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's not Instagram worthy. But that quiet progress, that daily grind when nobody's watching, is what builds greatness. You've got to learn to respect your own process. You've got to learn to celebrate the steps you've already taken. Because the truth is, success isn't built in leaps. It's built in layers. It's brick by brick, and you can't stack bricks if you keep throwing them away because they look too small. Every little bit matters. You didn't lose 20 pounds overnight. It started with one healthier meal. You didn't write a whole book in a day. It started with one page. You didn't rebuild your life instantly. It started the day you decided not to quit. That's the power of small steps. Every step counts. Some of you get discouraged because you can't see the finish line, but that's not your job. Your job is to keep moving forward. One decision, one effort, one action at a time. You can't sprint through every season of life. Sometimes the season requires walking, crawling, or even stumbling. But as long as you're still in motion, you're still in the fight. The real enemy isn't failure, it's stagnation. It's that moment you say, I'll do it later. It's that moment you sit down and never get back up. Every step you take, no matter how shaky, destroys that enemy a little more. You've got to train your mind to recognize progress when it's not obvious. You've got to be able to look at a seed and see the tree. Because success doesn't announce itself. It grows quietly, underground, in seasons where nobody is clapping, nobody is calling your name. That's where champions are made. In silence, in small steps, in unseen consistency. The world celebrates results, but God celebrates process. Every little step is proof that you're willing to move when it's hard. And that's what separates winners from quitters. Let me tell you something. The most powerful people in the world aren't the ones who do the most in a day. They're the ones who do something every day. Consistency will always beat intensity. You can be fired up for a week, but if you stop, that passion dies. But if you keep showing up, if you keep moving, that small flame becomes a wildfire. You don't need to make massive moves today. You need to make meaningful ones. You need to decide that no matter how far you've got to go, you'll keep taking the next right step. There are people who give up because they don't see immediate results, but that's not you. You've got to have faith in the unseen. You've got to trust that every rep, every hour of study, every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every single effort, it's doing something inside you, even if you can't feel it right now. Every step counts because every step is shaping your mind, building your discipline, and preparing you for the moment when opportunity knocks. The worst thing you can do is stop just because you can't see progress. Sometimes the growth is happening in silence, and don't let comparison kill your progress. Stop measuring your chapter 2 against somebody else's chapter 20. You don't know what they had to go through, what it cost them, what it took for them to get there. You've got to run your race. Every step you take in your lane gets you closer to your destiny. Don't rush it. Don't despise it. You're building something that's supposed to last. You're not in competition with anyone. You're in competition with who you were yesterday. That's the only comparison that matters. Every step counts because every step tests your faith. Every step challenges your comfort zone. Every step pushes you to grow in ways you didn't even know were possible. There will be days when it feels like you're not moving, but if you're still trying, you're still climbing. Even when it feels like you're stuck, you're learning something. Maybe patience, maybe resilience, maybe discipline, but trust me, you're growing. Every step counts because it's not just about the distance, it's about the development. Think about this. The ocean is made up of drops. The mountain is made up of stones. The masterpiece is made up of strokes. You can't rush the creation. Every detail matters. The same goes for your dream. Every moment, every decision, every small act of courage, it's all part of your masterpiece. You can't skip steps. You can only master them. And once you do, you realize the steps were never obstacles. They were building blocks. So if today you feel like your effort doesn't matter, I'm here to tell you it does. That one workout you pushed through when you wanted to quit, it matters. That one chapter you read when you were tired, it matters. That one call you made when you were scared of rejection, it matters. Because the truth is, those little actions create momentum, and momentum changes everything. The more steps you take, the more confidence you build. The more confidence you build, the more unstoppable you become. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself of every small victory you've already had. Remember the days you wanted to quit but didn't. Those are the days that shaped you. Those are the days that count. Every step you take is proof that you're not the same person you used to be. You've evolved, you've matured, you've grown stronger, and you didn't need applause or validation to do it. You just kept walking. There's a reason why the turtle still wins the race, because while the rabbit was showing off, the turtle was moving forward one step at a time. You might not be the fastest, you might not be the loudest, but if you're consistent, you'll win, because every step counts. Every lesson counts. Every mistake counts. Every attempt counts. You can fail 1,000 times, but each failure teaches you something. Each failure brings you closer to mastery. So I need you to stop saying it's not enough. I need you to stop saying I'm too slow. You're moving, you're growing, you're building. You are enough right now as you are, as long as you keep stepping. The race isn't about speed. It's about endurance. And you've got what it takes to finish. You've already proven that you can start. You've already shown that you can stay. Now it's time to finish, one step at a time. You can't quit now, because if you look back, you'll see a trail of victories behind you. Maybe small, but real. Maybe quiet, but undeniable. You've already built too much momentum to stop. Don't waste it. keep building, keep believing, keep moving. Even when nobody notices, God notices. Even when nobody claps, the universe keeps count. Nothing is wasted. Every step counts, every tear counts, every push counts. One day, you'll look back and realize that all those tiny steps, all those long nights, all those moments of struggle, they were the bridge that carried you to your destiny. So don't stop now. Don't doubt your direction. Keep moving forward, because the only way to lose is to stop stepping. And as long as you're still stepping, you're still winning. Stay hungry. That's it. That's the secret. That's the fuel that keeps the grace going when everyone else stops. When the world gets tired, when people start settling, when the applause dies, the hungry ones keep moving. Hunger is not about food. It's about fire. It's that thing deep inside you that says, I can do more. I can be more. I'm not done yet. You see, talent can fade. Motivation can come and go, but hunger will keep you alive when nothing else will. When the lights go out, when the crowd disappears, when it's just you and the grind, hunger is what keeps you standing. Hunger is what wakes you up when you don't want to move. Hunger is what makes you train harder when others sleep. Hunger is what whispers, keep going, when everything in you screams, stop. There's a reason why the greats are never satisfied. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Serena Williams, Messi, Elon Musk, they all had that hunger that wouldn't let them rest. They didn't care about what they already achieved. They were focused on what was still possible. They were obsessed with getting better. That's hunger. It's that deep ache inside you that won't let you settle for average. It's the voice that tells you, you didn't come this far to just be good. You came to be legendary. You've got to want it so bad that it burns in your bones. You've got to want it so bad that losing sleep feels like a small price to pay for your dream. Most people quit not because they lack talent, but because they lost their hunger. They got comfortable. They got satisfied with good enough. But hear me, good enough is the enemy of greatness. Comfort is the enemy of growth. The moment you stop being hungry is the moment you stop moving forward. You can't let success seduce you. You can't let comfort convince you that you've made it. You haven't made it, not until your potential is maxed out. You haven't made it, not until you've given everything you've got. You've got to treat every day like it's yours. First day, even when you've been doing it for years, you've got to show up hungry. You've got to attack the day like you've got something to prove, because hunger doesn't care how far you've come. Hunger only cares about where you're going next. It's about staying humble, staying focused, and staying driven no matter what the scoreboard says. The moment you start feeling like you've done enough, remind yourself there's always another level. There's always more to give. There's always more to learn. Hunger keeps your edge sharp. It keeps your fire alive. Without hunger, passion turns to routine, and routine turns to boredom, and boredom kills dreams. So you've got to feed your hunger every day. How? By remembering where you came from, by remembering what it felt like to be broke, to be doubted, to be overlooked, by remembering the pain that pushed you to start in the first place. You can't forget your roots. You can't forget the hunger that made you fight for your first breakthrough. That hunger is your weapon. When you wake up in the morning, don't ask, what do I have to do today? Ask, how far can I go today? Don't just clock in, lock in. Don't just move, attack. Because the hungry don't wait for opportunity. They create it. They chase it down. They grab it by the throat and make it happen. That's the difference between the dreamers and the doers. The dreamers talk about it. The doers stay hungry enough to grind for it. And let me be real. Hunger hurts. It's uncomfortable. It burns. It will make you question yourself. It will test your limits. But that's the point. Hunger means you're alive. Hunger means you still care. Hunger means you're still chasing something bigger than yourself. You've got to learn to love that feeling, that restless fire inside your chest, because that's what's going to take you to places comfort never will. You might not have the resources, the connections, the perfect plan, but if you've got hunger, you've already got the advantage. Because hunger doesn't depend on talent. It doesn't depend on luck. It depends on drive. You can't buy hunger. You can't fake hunger. It's earned through struggle, through sacrifice, through long nights and hard lessons. That's what separates you from the rest. Not what you have, but how bad you want it. Some people want success until it gets hard. The hungry, they want it especially when it gets hard. They see pain as proof that they're getting closer. They see failure as feedback, not defeat. That's what it means to stay hungry. It's waking up after a loss and saying, let's go again. It's hearing no and deciding to find another way. It's standing in front of a mountain and saying, I'm not leaving until I climb this. If you want to be great, you've got to train your hunger. You've got to feed it with goals, with vision, with purpose. You've got to give it direction. Because hunger without focus is chaos, but hunger with purpose is unstoppable. Write your goals down. Read them every morning. Visualize them every night. Keep them in your heart like oxygen. Because when you're hungry, everything becomes fuel. The rejection, the pain, the doubt, the failure, all of it feeds you. All of it pushes you. Don't let your hunger die because of temporary comfort. Comfort will tell you, take a break. Hunger will say, get up, we've still got work to do. Comfort will tell you, you've earned this rest. Hunger will say, you haven't earned rest until you've reached your purpose. The world will try to sedate your hunger. People will tell you, you've done enough. But the ones who change the world, the ones whose names we remember, are the ones who never stop chasing. When you feel that fire burning out, when the grind starts feeling heavy, remind yourself of why you started. Go back to the beginning. Go back to the hunger that made you dream in the first place. Reignite that spark, because once you lose hunger, you lose fight. And once you lose fight, you lose your edge. You can't let that happen. You've got to protect your hunger like it's sacred. You've got to guard it from distractions, from negativity, from laziness, from comfort. The hungry don't need motivation. They're driven from within. You don't need someone to push you when you've got hunger because it's in your DNA. You can't rest because your spirit won't let you. You can't quit because your dream won't leave you alone. That's hunger. It's a blessing and a burden. It keeps you uncomfortable. It keeps you grinding, but it also keeps you alive. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't look at how far you've got to go. Look at how far your hunger can take you. Don't listen to the voice that says you're tired. Listen to the one that says you're not done. Because that's the voice that separates greatness from mediocrity. That's the voice that wins championships, that builds empires, that changes lives. I need you to dig deep. I need you to find that hunger again. I need you to remind yourself that you're not here to be average. You're not here to blend in. You're here to break limits. You're here to do something no one in your family has ever done before. You're here to create a legacy, and that legacy will only come if you stay hungry. When you feel like you've hit your limit, go again. When you think you've done enough, do more. When everyone else is done for the day, stay one more hour. When others rest, you rise. When others slow down, you accelerate. Because hunger is not about what you feel. It's about what you decide. It's a choice. Every single day you choose to be hungry. You can't fake that drive. You can't imitate that fire. You've got to earn it through consistency, through discipline, through grit. The hunger you have now, protect it, feed it, nurture it, because one day it's going to feed you. It's going to open doors you didn't know existed. It's going to take you from where you are to where you're destined to be. Stay hungry even when you win. Stay hungry even when they praise you. Stay hungry even when it's hard, because hunger is what got you here. And hunger is what's going to take you further than you ever dreamed possible. You've got to believe in your strength. Even when everything around you tells you you're weak, you've got to believe in your power when life keeps throwing punches. Because let me tell you something, you're stronger than you think. Every scar you've got is proof that you've survived something that was meant to break you. Every wound that's healed on your body, every heartbreak that didn't destroy your spirit, every failure you rose from, that's evidence of your strength. The problem is most of us don't recognize our own power. We think strength means not feeling pain. We think it means being perfect. No. Strength is about standing tall even while you're hurting. It's about moving forward even when you're scared. It's about holding on when everything in you says, let go. That's real strength. You've already survived 100% of your worst days. Think about that. Every single storm that tried to drown you, you walked out of it. Every time you thought, this is it, I can't take anymore, you found a way to get up again. That's not weakness. That's strength. But the world won't tell you that. The world will try to convince you that strength is about muscles or money or power. No, strength is internal. It's mental. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's in the moments when you could have quit, but you didn't. It's in the moments when you were scared, but you kept going anyway. You've got to start acknowledging your own resilience. Too many of us focus on what went wrong, and we forget to celebrate what went right. We forget to recognize the fighter inside us. Look at you. You've been through betrayal, heartbreak, disappointment, loss, and failure, but you're still here. That's not by accident. That's not luck. That's strength. You've been tested. You've been bruised. You've been stretched, but you didn't break. You might have bent, but you didn't snap. You might have cried, but you didn't quit. You might have stumbled, but you didn't stay down. You've got to give yourself credit for that. There's a warrior inside of you. But sometimes life tries to bury that warrior under fear, under doubt, under negativity. You've got to fight to uncover it again. Because once you realize how powerful you are, fear loses its hold. When you understand that you've already survived worse, you stop running from challenges. You start facing them like, let's go. I've been through tougher battles than this. That's the mindset of a conqueror. That's the mindset of someone who refuses to be defeated. Your strength isn't just about what you can endure. It's also about what you can overcome. Some people crumble under pressure. Others are shaped by it. You've been shaped by it. Every hard moment has carved something into you. Wisdom, patience, character. You may not see it right now, but one day you'll look back and realize that everything that tried to break you was actually building you. Strength isn't built in comfort. It's built in conflict. It's built when you have to keep going when nobody is cheering for you. It's built when you have to motivate yourself because nobody else believes in you. It's built when you're walking through the valley and you have no choice but to keep walking. You've got to stop doubting your own power. Stop telling yourself you can't handle it. You've handled everything that came before this moment. You can handle what's next. The pain you feel right now is not a signal of weakness. It's a signal of growth. It's proof that you're stretching. It's proof that you're evolving. You got to shift your perspective. When life gets heavy, stop saying, why me? And start saying, try me. You're not a victim. You're a survivor. You're not fragile. You're fierce. You've got to believe in your strength when others can't see. Because most people will judge you by your circumstances, but they can't see what's inside you. They don't know the battles you fought in silence. They don't know the tears you cried when nobody was watching. They don't know how many times you saved yourself. So stop waiting for them to validate your strength. Validate it yourself. You've earned it. You've proven it. You've lived it. Sometimes strength looks like smiling when you want to scream. Sometimes it looks like forgiving when you'd rather get revenge. Sometimes it looks like walking away from what doesn't serve you, even when it hurts. Strength is choosing peace over chaos. Strength is saying no when everyone expects you to say yes. Strength is not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. You've done that over and over again. And that's what makes you unstoppable. You've got to understand something. Strength isn't about never being weak. Strength is about embracing your weakness and still showing up. It's about knowing you don't have it all together, but refusing to give up anyway. You can cry and still be strong. You can doubt and still have faith. You can fall apart and still rebuild yourself. Strength doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It means you don't let pain define you. There's a power that comes when you recognize your inner strength. You stop letting people control your emotions. You stop letting setbacks break your spirit. You stop letting fear dictate your destiny. You start walking with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out because you've always figured it out. That's what strong people do. They adapt, they adjust, they overcome. I know you've been through things that made you question yourself. I know there were moments you felt like giving up, but I'm here to tell you, you've already done the hardest part, surviving. If you can survive what you've been through, there's nothing you can't handle next. Stop underestimating yourself. You're not weak. You're worn, but you're wiser. You're tired, but you're tougher. You're hurt, but you're still here. That's strength. Sometimes strength is silent. It's not loud. It's not on display. It's in those quiet moments when you're holding yourself together. It's in those late nights when you're praying for a breakthrough. It's in those mornings when you get up despite the pain. That's where strength lives, in the persistence, in the resilience, in the refusal to quit. You've got to look in the mirror and remind yourself who you are. Remind yourself of what you've already overcome. Because life will try to make you forget. Life will try to convince you that you're not built for it. But you are. You've got to talk to yourself like a champion. You've got to speak life into yourself when no one else does. Say it until you believe it. I'm strong enough. I'm capable enough. I've got this. You don't need anyone to save you. You've been saving yourself all along. You've been carrying your burden, solving your problems, fighting your battles. You are your own hero. Stop acting like you're helpless. Stop acting like you're small. Your power beyond measure. You've already proven that you can endure pain. Now it's time to use that strength to build purpose. Use that strength to inspire others. Use that strength to walk boldly into your future. And let me tell you something, you're not done yet. The same strength that got you this far will get you further. The same resilience that kept you alive in the dark will help you shine in the light. You've got to keep tapping into that. You've got to keep reminding yourself that you're built different. Because if life couldn't break you before, it's not going to break you now. Don't let a temporary struggle make you forget your permanent strength. You've already beaten the odds. You've already overcome battles most people don't even know about. You are a living example of perseverance. So stop walking like you're powerless. Walk like you've survived the impossible, because you have. Every day you wake up, that's proof of your strength. Every challenge you've conquered, that's your testimony. Every setback you bounce back from, that's your legacy. So keep believing, keep fighting, keep showing up. Because the truth is, you were never weak. You were just being refined. Every challenge was chiseling away the doubt, shaping you into the warrior you were meant to be. You've got strength running through your veins, and it's time to own it. You've been through storms that should have destroyed you, but you're still standing. That's not luck. That's power. That's strength. And as long as there's breath in your body, there's fight left in your spirit. Don't ever forget that. You've got everything you need inside you. You don't have to wait for strength. You already are it. There comes a point in every journey where the noise around you becomes louder than the voice within you. People start to doubt you. Circumstances start to discourage you. The results take longer to show than the effort you've been putting in. And in that moment, you've got two choices. Listen to the noise or trust the process. You see, most people want success, but they don't want the waiting. They don't want the grind. They don't want the silence between planting the seed and seeing the fruit. But I'm here to tell you, the real ones, the ones who win at life, they trust the process even when nothing makes sense. They show up when the applause is gone. They grind when nobody's watching. They keep believing when everything in front of them screams, give up. Let me tell you something. The process is not punishment. It's preparation. You might think life is being unfair because doors are closing, people are leaving, or progress feels slow. But what if all of that is shaping you for what's next? What if the waiting is developing the patience you'll need to sustain the blessing? What if the pressure you're feeling right now is the exact pressure that's molding you into the version of yourself who can handle what's coming? See, everyone wants to arrive, but nobody wants to travel. Everyone wants the reward, but nobody wants to go through the refining fire that builds strength. Trusting the process means believing that every setback is setting you up. It means understanding that the dirt covering your seed isn't your burial, it's your planting ground. When I say trust the process, I mean stop expecting overnight success. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. You don't know the hours they put in when the world was sleeping. You don't know the sacrifices they made, the tears they shed, the pain they endured. You just see the result, not the road. But if you knew their road, you'd understand greatness takes time. You can't microwave excellence. You can't rush purpose. It's built one decision, one sacrifice, one step at a time. So if you're tired, good. That means you're working. If you're frustrated, good. That means you're stretching. If you're waiting, good. That means your turn is coming. Too many people quit in the middle because the process doesn't look like progress. They think because they don't see results, it's not working. But listen to me. The seed doesn't sprout the day you plant it. You have to water it, nurture it, and believe in it, even when it's invisible. Just because you can't see it growing doesn't mean it's not growing. The process is working behind the scenes. It's rearranging the pieces you can't see yet. But when it's time, when the season shifts, when the roots are deep enough, boom, everything you prayed for, worked for, cried for, it will manifest. But only if you trust the process long enough to let it mature. Think about this. The process is teaching you discipline. It's teaching you consistency. It's teaching you to show up when you don't feel like it. Because let's be honest, anybody can work when it's easy. Anybody can stay motivated when it's convenient. But trusting the process is about commitment when it's uncomfortable. It's about saying, I'm not moved by emotions. I'm moved by purpose. It's saying, I will keep moving forward even when I don't see the full staircase. You don't stop because it's hard. You don't stop because it's lonely. You stop when the mission is complete. You stop when the dream is reality. Until then, you stay planted. You stay faithful. You stay focused. I know sometimes you ask, why me? Why do I have to go through this? Why can't it be easier? But let me ask you something. If it were easy, would you even grow? Would you even appreciate? Diamonds don't form without pressure. Gold isn't purified without fire. Your character doesn't develop without struggle. What you're facing right now isn't meant to break you. It's meant to build you. That's why you got to trust it. The sleepless nights, the rejection letters, the failures, they're all part of it. Because when you finally make it, you'll look back and realize that the very things you thought were breaking you were actually shaping you. You can't skip the process. You can't cheat it. If you rush it, you ruin it. Look at a butterfly. It can't just rip out of the cocoon. It has to fight its way out, push its way through, struggle to break free, because it's in that struggle that its wings develop strength. If someone cuts the cocoon early to help it, the butterfly will come out weak, unable to fly. That's what happens when you run from the process. You step out too soon and lose the strength meant to sustain you. You're meant to fly, but only if you survive the cocoon, only if you trust the pressure long enough to break free stronger. I get it. The process feels slow. You've been working for years and it feels like nobody notices. You've been putting in effort, but the results don't match. You've been doing your best and it seems like others are getting ahead. But don't be fooled by speed. Some people are sprinting toward the wrong finish line. Your path may be slower, but it's solid. It's building foundation, not just momentum. See, when a skyscraper is built, the first thing they do is dig deep. The taller the building, the deeper the foundation. For months, you'll pass by and see nothing but dirt and concrete. But one day, that same ground starts rising higher than everything around it. That's your process. Invisible at first, but unstoppable when it rises. Every delay has a purpose. Every detour has a direction. Sometimes God slows you down to prepare what's ahead. Sometimes he hides you to protect you. You think you're being overlooked, but maybe you're being preserved. Maybe you're being refined so that when your moment comes, you don't crumble under the weight of it. Trust that, because if you skip the season of preparation, the success you're chasing will destroy you. What's the point of getting a dream if you're not ready to hold it? So be patient, be disciplined, keep your faith in the unseen. Don't let impatience make you settle. Some people stop believing because they don't see quick results. They start cutting corners, compromising values, taking shortcuts. But shortcuts lead to short-term wins and long-term losses. You might get there faster, but you won't last longer. Success built without process crumbles under pressure, but success built through process stands forever. Look at anyone who truly made it. Athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, they all had to trust the process. They had moments of doubt, but they didn't give up. They learned through the pain. They embraced the grind. They understood that every trial was training them for triumph. There's power in patience. There's strength in stillness. Sometimes the greatest thing you can do is not quit. Just stay consistent. Every day you get up and put one foot in front of the other, you're winning. Every day you push yourself when you don't feel like it, you're growing. Every day you hold on when it's easier to let go, you're building something unshakable inside you. The process is shaping not just your success, but your spirit. It's teaching you endurance, humility, and gratitude. And when you finally rise, you'll rise with wisdom, not arrogance, with peace, not pressure, with purpose, not pride. So when the days get dark, when you feel like it's not working, remind yourself the seed doesn't grow in the light. It grows in the dark. What you're going through is not the end. It's the becoming. You're becoming the person who can handle what you ask for. You're becoming the warrior who can lead others through their storms. You're becoming the example of perseverance. That's why you can't quit. That's why you have to trust it even when it hurts. Because one day, all the pain, all the waiting, all the confusion, It'll make sense. You'll see that the process wasn't taken from you. It was investing in you. Trust the process, even when it's painful. Trust it when it's silent. Trust it when nothing seems to move. Because the process is working even when you can't see it. Your time is coming. Your breakthrough is near and your purpose is unfolding right now. Stay grounded. Stay faithful. Stay ready. The ones who win aren't the most talented. They're the ones who refuse to give up while the process was still at work. When you hit the point where you feel like everything is collapsing, when your energy is gone, when your motivation fades, when you're staring at the ceiling wondering why you even started, that's the exact moment where you must hold your ground and say to yourself, I refuse to break. Because the truth is, resilience isn't built when things go right. It's built when everything goes wrong and you decide to keep showing up anyway. It's built when the world tells you no, but you keep moving towards your yes. It's built when the people you thought would support you disappear and you learn to stand alone. It's built in the tears, the late nights, the long hours, and the pain that nobody sees. You don't develop strength from sunshine. You develop it from the storm. There's a reason why life puts you through seasons of pressure. You don't grow in comfort. You don't evolve in safety. You grow in struggle. You grow when your back's against the wall and you've got no choice but to fight. You grow when everything inside you says to quit, but something deeper says not yet. That's resilience. That voice that whispers, keep going when everything else is screaming, stop. And that voice, that inner fire, that unbreakable will, it's what separates the successful from the almost. It's what defines champions. You can have talent, intelligence, money, and opportunity, but if you don't have resilience, it won't last because life will test everything that isn't built on strength. You've got to stop expecting life to be fair. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop thinking you'll start when it's easy because it won't get easier. You'll just get stronger. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about building endurance. It's about being able to take the hit and keep standing. It's about being able to cry and still keep fighting. You think those who made it had it smooth? No, they just refused to quit. They were told they weren't good enough. They failed repeatedly. They lost people, money, time, but they didn't lose themselves. That's what makes them different. Every setback was fuel. Every loss was motivation. Every no was preparation for a bigger yes. When you develop resilience, you stop asking for the storm to end. You start learning how to sail through it. You realize that storms don't destroy you. They reveal you. They show you what's real, what's fake, what's temporary, and what's eternal. You start understanding that what you're going through isn't punishment, it's purpose. The pain has meaning. The delays have lessons. The rejection is redirection. And every time you rise again, you become more dangerous to doubt, more immune to failure, more powerful in faith. You stop needing everything to be okay because you've learned to be okay no matter what. That's what resilience does. It builds unshakable peace. You got to remember something important. Your struggle today is building strength for tomorrow. Every single time you survive something you thought would destroy you, you evolve. You gain something that can't be taught in any classroom, read in any book, or bought with any money. You gain experience. You gain mental armor. You gain the power to walk through the next storm with your head up, knowing you've already conquered worse. The pain that once broke you becomes proof that you can survive. You start realizing that resilience isn't about bouncing back. It's about bouncing forward. It's about coming back stronger, wiser, and sharper than before. You have to stop waiting for the pain to go away before you move. Some days you'll have to move through the pain. Some days you'll have to smile through tears. Some days you'll have to fight with shaking hands. But as long as you keep moving, you're winning. Resilience isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about getting knocked down 9 times and standing up 10. It's about waking up one more day and saying, I'm not done yet. It's about believing that you were built for this, that no matter how hard it gets, you can take it, you can handle it, and you can rise again because you can. There's no greatness without pain. Every mountain you climb will test your lungs. Every dream you chase will test your faith. Every goal you pursue will test your limits. But those tests aren't there to stop you. They're there to shape you. Because the person who comes out on the other side isn't the same person who started the journey. The weak parts of you break off in the process, and the strong parts of you rise to the surface. You can't build a diamond without pressure. You can't forge a sword without fire. You can't build a champion without challenge. So if life feels heavy right now, it's because you're being refined for something greater. Don't you dare confuse delay with denial. Don't you dare let one season convince you it's over. Every seed takes time to grow. Every tree takes time to rise. You've got to go through seasons of rain before you can bloom. And those seasons are where resilience is born. That's when you learn to keep faith when you can't see progress. That's when you learn to stand tall when everything's pushing you down. You can't become who you're meant to be without going through who you used to be. Every version of you that quit too soon had to die for the resilient one to be born. So let it hurt, let it stretch you, let it teach you, but don't let it stop you. When life pushes you to the ground, don't focus on how far you fell. Focus on how high you're about to bounce. That's the mindset of the resilient. They don't focus on the fall, they focus on the comeback. They understand that a fall is just a setup for elevation. And they know that every great story includes a struggle. Think about it. Every hero you've ever admired went through something that should have broken them. They faced betrayal, loss, fear, doubt, but they rose anyway. That's what makes them legendary. And that same spirit, that same power, that same fire, it's in you. You just have to awaken it. Resilience is what keeps you standing when life hits harder than you imagine. It's what allows you to breathe through pain and believe through fear. It's what lets you say, this isn't how my story ends. You might bend, but you won't break. You might bleed, but you won't back down. You might cry, but you won't quit. Because deep down, you know you've come too far to stop now. You've sacrificed too much to walk away. You've been through too many nights of doubt to not see the dawn. That's why you've got to keep standing, even when standing hurts. You've got to keep believing, even when believing burns. You've got to keep fighting, even when the fight feels endless. Some people think resilience means being tough all the time. It doesn't. It means being real. It means having moments of weakness, but never letting those moments define you. It means admitting you're tired, but choosing to move forward anyway. It means crying and then getting back to work. Because you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. That's where your power lies. Not in avoiding pain, but in refusing to let pain own you. And I know sometimes you feel alone in it. Sometimes it feels like nobody understands what you're going through. But that's because your path is personal. Your struggle is shaping a strength that others can't comprehend. It's producing a testimony that others will need someday. People don't get it now, but one day they'll look at your resilience and say, how did you survive that? And you'll smile because you know it wasn't luck, it was persistence. It was the nights you didn't give up, the mornings you started again, the days you refused to break. So don't curse your pain. Don't waste your suffering. Turn it into strength. Use it to fuel your fire. Let it remind you who you are and what you're capable of. You're not weak because you're tired. You're strong because you're still fighting. You're not failing because you're struggling. You're growing because you're learning. Every scar is proof that you survived something meant to destroy you. And if you survive that, you can survive this. You've already beaten the odds more times than you realize. This moment, this hardship, it's just another chapter. It's not the end. It's the middle. And in every great story, the middle is messy, but it's what makes the ending worth it. Keep standing, keep believing, keep moving, because resilience isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment. It's waking up every morning and saying, no matter what happens today, I will not break. You've got to carry that fire inside you. Let it burn through the fear, through the pain, through the doubt. And when you look back months from now, you'll see that what tried to destroy you only made you unstoppable. You'll realize that resilience wasn't just something you learned. It became who you are. And when you reach that point, nothing in this world will ever be able to break you again. You know what's crazy? Most people quit right before the breakthrough. They stop digging when they're inches away from gold. They start something, they put in the time, they endure the pain, they make progress. But when things get the hardest, when it feels like everything's falling apart, they walk away. But you can't do that. You've come too far to quit now. You've got to push past that wall. You've got to understand that the wall isn't there to stop you. It's there to test you. The wall is asking you one question. How bad do you want it? Because everybody says they want success. Everybody says they want greatness. Everybody talks about making it out. But when the pain shows up, when the sacrifices get real, when it feels like you're alone, that's when most people disappear. But not you. You've got to tell yourself every single day, I will not quit. I will not give up. I will not let my pain be wasted. You see, pain has two sides. One side breaks you. The other side builds you. And the difference is what you do when the pain hits. Some people run from pain. They hide. They look for comfort. But successful people, they face it. They push through it. They understand that pain is temporary. But quitting lasts forever. That regret will follow you. It will eat at you. It will whisper in your ear for years saying, what if? You don't want to live a life full of what if. You want to live a life where you can look back and say, I gave it everything I had. Even if you fail, at least you'll know you left it all on the line. That's what champions do. They don't stop when they're tired. They stop when they're done. You might be at a point right now where you're exhausted. You've been fighting for months, maybe years. You've been giving your all, and the results still aren't showing up the way you thought they would. Maybe you've cried yourself to sleep. Maybe you've questioned if it's even worth it anymore. Listen to me. That's when the magic happens. That's when the transformation starts. Because when you hit that wall and you don't quit, that's the moment life starts to shift. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, it begins to align things in your favor because you proved you could handle it. You proved you won't fold under pressure. You prove that your faith is stronger than your frustration. You've got to remember, breakthroughs are born out of breakdowns. The moment you think you're about to fall apart is the exact moment you're being remade in something greater. Every test, every delay, every disappointment, it's not punishment, it's preparation. You're being stretched so that you can hold the blessing that's coming. You can't handle what's next if you're still afraid of pain. You've got to build the muscle of endurance. You've got to train your mind to see struggle as a stepping stone, not a setback, because struggle is the currency of growth. You pay your dues in pain. That's how you earn your greatness. And look, nobody said this road would be easy. You're chasing something that most people don't have the courage to chase. You're building something that doesn't exist yet. You're carrying a dream that only you can see. That's not supposed to be comfortable. That's not supposed to be simple. You think greatness is built on comfort? No, it's built on late nights, sacrifices, rejections, and 1,000 moments where you wanted to quit, but didn't. Every scar you carry is proof that you kept fighting. Every bruise, every tear, every sleepless night, that's your resume. That's what qualifies you. You earned those scars. You've got to wear them with pride because they mean you stayed in the fight. When I say push past the pain, I'm not saying ignore it. I'm saying understand it, feel it. Let it remind you why you started. Let it fuel you instead of fool you. Pain is an indicator that something powerful is happening. You're being forged. Steel isn't strong because it's pretty. It's strong because it went through fire. Diamonds aren't made in comfort. They're made under pressure. And you, my friend, are being shaped into something extraordinary. But you'll never see it if you stop now. You'll never find out what you're capable of if you walk away when it hurts. So when the pain shows up, don't run. Lean in, breathe through it. Tell yourself, this is making me stronger. There's something powerful about a person who refuses to give up. People respect that. The world notices that when you keep moving despite the pain, despite the fear, despite the doubt, you become unstoppable. Because what can break someone who's already been through everything? What can defeat someone who doesn't know how to quit? That's the mindset you've got to build. You've got to tell yourself, I've been through too much to give up now. Every time you wanted to stop but didn't, that's another layer of strength. That's another level of resilience. That's another step toward your destiny. Let me tell you something. Your body will quit before your mind does. Your emotions will tell you to stop. Your mind will whisper, this is too much, but you've got to dig deep. You've got to talk back to yourself. You've got to say, no, I've come too far. I've cried too many tears. I've worked too many hours. I've sacrificed too much to stop now. You've got to push past that mental barrier. You've got to silence that voice that's trying to protect you from discomfort, because that same voice that's saying rest is the one that's holding you back from the life you deserve. You've got to create a new story in your mind. Every time it hurts, say to yourself, I'm growing. Every time you feel like giving up, remind yourself, this pain is proof that I'm still in the fight. Pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. It's showing you where you're still weak, where you still need to grow, where your limits are. And once you know your limits, you can break them. Every time you survive pain, your limits move further away. You become stronger, smarter, more disciplined, more dangerous. That's how legends are made, not in comfort, but in pain. I want you to remember something powerful. Success doesn't come to the strongest or the smartest or the most talented. It comes to the one who refuses to quit. You can have all the skill in the world, but if you don't have the will to endure, you won't make it. Talent can get you started, but pain is what finishes the job. Pain will separate the talkers from the doers. It will expose the ones who are only in it for attention and highlight the ones who are truly committed. And when the smoke clears, the ones left standing are those who decided to keep pushing when everyone else walked away. You're not here by accident. You're reading this for a reason. Something in you knows there's more to your story. Something in you knows you're not done yet. And maybe right now you're facing the biggest challenge of your life. Maybe it feels like the world's against you. Maybe it feels like you've got nothing left in the tank. But I need you to listen to me carefully. This moment right here, this pain you're feeling, this exhaustion you're fighting, it's not the end. It's the turning point. The pain you're in right now is not here to destroy you. It's here to prepare you. You're being stretched because what's coming next requires a stronger version of you. Don't quit before you meet that version. Every storm runs out of rain. Every night ends in sunrise. And if you can just hold on a little longer, if you can just take one more step, if you can just believe that what you're doing still matters, you will make it. You will see the reward. You will look back and thank yourself for not quitting. You'll realize that the pain that once made you cry became the strength that made you unstoppable. You'll understand that all those sleepless nights, all those lonely moments, all those times you wanted to quit, they were building something inside you that nothing and no one can take away. So when it hurts, don't stop. When you're tired, don't quit. When it feels impossible, remind yourself that you've already survived impossible before. You've been through worse. You've come through storms you thought would destroy you. You're still standing. You've got proof that you can handle this. The pain you're in right now is just another step on the staircase to your greatness. And if you keep climbing, if you keep believing, if you keep pushing, one day that pain will turn into pride. You'll realize you didn't just survive, you conquered. You didn't just make it through, you grew through it. You've got to decide right now that you're done quitting, that no matter what comes your way, pain, fear, doubt, rejection, you're going to face it head on. Because every time you push past the pain, you take your power back. Every time you push through, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And that's the secret. The greatest version of you is on the other side of pain. So don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Push past it. Because you've come too far to quit now.